Heyo. Oh. Today has been an interesting day. For one, I had a heart attack earlier. I was streaming on Twitch because I finally got my Twitch account back. Nothing happened to it. It was just I forgot all my stuff for it and didn't know how to get back in, so pretty much didn't have a Twitch at that point. But now I'm back on Twitch. My Twitch handle is PhilipAllDay. For those who want to watch, I normally stream either early in the morning or a little bit at night, or throughout the day. I don't really got a set plan for it. I just either or. I go back and forth. I need to make a plan, that way I can have it streamlined so y'all can actually watch when I do have my Twitch on. Very noisy out here, but that's a good thing. If it wasn't noisy, then something would be serious wrong. Something crawled upon my foot. I do not appreciate that. Oh, that's a big bug. That is a big one. It's a big flying bug. That thing comes over here, I'll scream like a little girl. Y'all think I'm joking? I'm not. I will try and dive through that railing over there. Real quick, put that right there. Try and get the candle to not go out. Because it is the only thing keeping the mosquitoes away. Having to scratch my foot. Hold on. Going to dig in this thing to try and make a little tunnel for the wax. And that way, put this on that so it actually travels down that little thing that I made just now. And that way, hopefully, it follows that line. I breathed in as the smoke hit me in the face. My nose burns now. went swimming today. That was pretty cool. I don't know what you'd call it. Either it's not aquaphobia. Aquaphobia is fear of water. I'm not afraid of water. It's gonna sound weird. So basically, when I close my eyes and it's cold water, if I'm in any kind of cold water and I close my eyes, my anxiety spikes through the roof. It's like it just happens. And I have no real control over it. I just get really anxious. My mind starts playing scenarios through my head, and it freaks me out, and I have to open my eyes and all that stuff. And I cannot swim at night. If I can't see the water I'm in, my anxiety starts through the roof. And that is not a-okay. It is quite problematic. Oh, anyways, this cigar, well, half of it, because I've already smoked half of it. It is a gold LFD. Comes in a little gold tube, like metal tube, and it has a piece of a cedar, like, wrapped around it, and it just sits in the tube. You pop the top off, you pull the cigar out, stuff like that. Anyways, how I did it was I took my little guillotine shears, it's an oval looking thing where it has two little finger holes on it, and you pull it open and it has a crescent shaped blade on both sides. So when you close, they meet up and it cuts a little circular hole. Well, not hole, but it clips the material off. Guillotine shears are one of the more difficult ones if you're just getting into cigars. I recommend a hole punch or a V-cut for your first cigar experience. I went with guillotine shears, and I gotta say, it takes a good little bit of training yourself not to absolutely gunk up one of these cigars with one. And if you do get guillotine cigar cutter, get the scissors one, where it's just like scissors, because you can control the blade a lot better, and you can make sure both blades are coming at once. The guillotine the guillotine cigar cutter I have, one blade likes to get stuck and not come out, so it's starting to cut with the guillotine shear on this side. It's already starting to cut in, and then this one slaps forwards, and so it's not the cleanest cut in the world. But yeah, I would recommend having a V-cut or a hole punch. You can make your own hole punch. All you gotta do is, if you have any bullet casings around, like if you don't have a gun yourself and you have a family member who does have guns and regularly either goes to a shooting range or anything like that, and they collect up their brass, ask them for a empty shell casing. Any shell casing will do. All you needed it to be is a little bit round. And all you gotta do is take you a file. Like, not a fingernail file, but like a metal file. And you'll go around the top and you'll just spin your bullet casing and just shave it lightly. And then once you do that, you'll stick one of the corners of the file into the bullet and lightly press and turn it. You won't do it hard because brass is extremely easy to rip. I've ripped a few bullet casings trying to do it. But yeah, and it doesn't have to be surgically sharp. You're not even going to get it cutting sharp. It just has to come to a slight point. Because, like, cigar leaf is extremely easy to cut. I didn't bring my guillotine or my V-cut or my hole punch with me on one, and I just took my fingernails and cut the wrapper on one of my cigars, and it works. I had learned about that from a dude on here who does cigar reviews as his whole thing, and he said he went someplace, can't remember where he went, but it was a different country, I do believe, and he bought a cigar down there. Well, those people do not use cigar shears. They just take their fingernails and they'll pinch the cap. And I thought that was pretty cool because it works. It surprised me how good it was when I did it. So that kind of made me feel bad about buying cigar shears, not shears, a cigar cutter in the first place. But I do love my V-cuts; those are pretty good. But yeah. And my cigar is out, and I'm going to have to relight it. Knocking off the ash. Alright. Oh, it's still lit in the middle, so this should be easy getting it to light again. Oh, and if you're wanting an easy way to light your cigar up quickly, go around the sides. Do not start in the middle. Go around your sides. And through doing that, it'll burn towards the center. And it'll start your cigar back up. But after you hit the sides and it's not starting up in the center, you can light your lighter again and lightly puff on it to get it to go in the center. If you puff too hard, what you sniffing, puppy? What you smell? Anyways. Oh, you okay, bud? What is it? Nothing? Alright. Anyways, if you pull too hard, that fire's going to go deep into the head of your cigar, and it'll burn some of your leaf down here, whereas this ain't even reached that yet. So, what you been sniffing? You been sniffing sky raisins up your nostril? Sky raisins are basically any kind of flying bug. Spicy sky raisins are wasps and things with stingers. Anything that would bite, anything that would sting, that's a spicy sky raisin. Anything that just flies minds its own business, except for flies, because those things don't mind anything's business but everybody else's. Or gnats. Gnats like to kamikaze into your eyeballs. Don't know why, but they do. Oh, and something that I learned, which is pretty cool to me, is I learned what those big mosquito bug things are. They're called mosquito hawks. those big old mosquito looking things that are about that size. They're mosquito hawks. And they hunt down mosquitoes, which is pretty cool to me. That's something that I found out through a bit of research. Not even actually researching it on purpose. It was mainly an accident. I was watching videos and it just popped up, and it's still pretty cool. But yeah, mosquito hawks hunt down mosquitoes and eat them, or whatever they do. I think they eat them, but I don't know. I don't know if they got mouths or if they stick a mosquito like a mosquito sticks you. I don't know. I just know they hunt mosquitoes. There's one falcon I learned about, and yeah, I know I switched up from the topic I was on originally. Can't remember what I was talking about. Anyways, mosquito hawks, what was I talking about? I'm sorry, guys. My mind's going constantly. Give me a second. I'm trying to think to figure out what I was talking about. Pause the video right quick. Anyways, couldn't figure out what I was talking to y'all about. It's probably the mosquito hawks. Anyways, mosquito hawks, they intercept mosquitoes, which is pretty cool. If I'm correct, dragonflies do the same with what they hunt. Try and keep this lit because I keep talking more than I'm keeping it lit. I'm starting to look like a lion each day because the sides of my hair is all puffing out. My beard's puffing out. Looks like I got a mane. I was watching a video and it was a pretty terrifying one for the entire context. Like, it gets funny. Don't get me wrong, it gets funny. But if you were there in the moment, it would not be funny. Alright, so I seen this video, and it's this dude, don't remember where he's from, but he's singing about Jesus. And he's on a little moped or motorcycle, and he's going down a dark dirt road that doesn't have any lights. And the lights that were there, they were spaced really far apart. So he's going down this dirt road and he's singing about Jesus. You think nothing of it, just dude driving down a dark road. He's kind of nervous, kind of scared, so he's singing about Jesus, as you do. Because I know I've sung about Jesus when I'm truly terrified that and he's singing and he's singing, and then an instant his motorcycle shuts off, the lights on it shut off, he's plunged in complete darkness, and you can hear him picking up as he keeps singing faster and louder, as he's trying to crank this little moped or motorcycle back up, and it's not wanting to crank. He's singing louder, and he's starting to actually sound more and more paranoid. Well, he finally gets this thing cranked, and the lights shine on, and it starts up, and he just floors it the rest of the way, which I cannot blame him. I completely understand, and I completely agree with everything he did. And it was a doozy. Because I think about it, if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't know whether to lay down and cry or just accept my fate or keep cranking the motorcycle. Either one. What's worse is if you ain't on a vehicle or in a vehicle and you're just walking and everything just shuts down. That's terrifying. That is a scary thought. And it went out again. Well, bugs are starting to hit the house because of the lights. I forgot to do a review video because I had, long while back, bought some bearded cigars. I bought 2 of the sampler packs, and I think 1 of the regular just cigar packs. It was $150 or $160, either one. Anyways, I'm not a big, I don't really do big cigars. What I'm talking about is like ring gauges of like that. I'm not into those. He had one of those big ones in the little pack you can try, and I tried it because, well, I'm interested in trying different cigars. Maybe his cigars would be better to me in those. And it was a good cigar. It just, the ring gauge is not for me, so didn't entirely enjoy that cigar. Because for me, those bigger ring gauges ones, even if they're just like one that's this big, for me is extremely hard to pull air through. And that's just how it is for me. It was a good cigar, and if I was going to rate it, I would rate it at a 5 out of 10. It wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't bad, so I'm giving it a nice in the middle rating. And then I tried one of his torpedoes, which I've always wanted to try a torpedo. Torpedoes ain't my thing. I don't know if it was just the flavor of it or what. It wasn't my favorite, so I'd give it a 3. then I tried one of his really long ones, but it's like a very small ring gauge. That thing was awesome. It was like the perfect cigar. I will give it a 10 out of 10. I forget what they're called. I'll have to look back on his website, and then I'll give some context on that. And then I had one of the smaller ring gauges, and it was one about that size. It was pretty good. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. And then, oh, and by the way, the thin, long one was, I think, one of his darker blends, and it like had a really nice dark chocolate type flavor to it. And then I tried everything in the little sampler pack, but I can't remember everything that was in it. But those were the ones that mainly stuck with me. And then he had some that were about this long and slightly small ring gauge, nowhere near as small as the really long one. But those were really good and had a really nice dark chocolate and nutty flavor. And I extremely enjoyed them, and I really want some more of them. So I would give those a 10 out of 10 as well. For me, the really long one is like, I could pick it up, put it down, pick it up again, and it never changed flavor. Even after lighting it multiple times, it stayed the same flavor. But for me, the like really big ring gauge and big ones, they tend to change flavor when you light them, as well as a couple of others. But it was still good. It still had some nice things to it. My cigar went out. I'm not gonna light it again. I'm probably gonna go in now. But thank y'all for sitting out here with me in the dark. If you've seen me look around, it's because Puppy's also looking around, and I'm getting nervous because he keeps looking around. I keep wondering what's out there. But I know it ain't nothing because the birds and not the birds, but the bugs are still a-chirping. And as long as those fellers don't go silent, I'm good. Oh, quit that, Puppy. Quit doing that. He does the same thing with looking into the corners of my room and scaring the absolute crap out of me. It ain't fun. It's not funny. Now you're just doing it on purpose. Anyways, I'll catch y'all later. I'm gonna go inside. Y'all have a good one. I'm calling it a night.